So, all right, there we go. All right.
All right.
So take it away.
So the website is TitlePro247.com. It is a Black Knight product. Black Knight is one of the biggest data providers in the country. You can get property profiles, you can get farm lists, you can get recorded documents and things like that. And like I said, we should have just about everybody signed up. I received a roster a few months ago. So if there's anybody new in the office, let me know. And if anybody needs their password reset, we'll get you reset as well. Having access to this site also gives you access to our mobile app. We'll probably touch on that very briefly at the end, but we're not going to go too into that today. I really want to focus on the website, how to pull a property profile, some of the data you can expect to see, and how to pull some lists as well. So it's pretty basic. When you're in, property profiles are the main focus. It's what most people are using this for. You can search by property address, the mailing address, the APN. If you don't know what the address is, but you know what the intersection is, you can type that in, or you can also put in the owner's name. So we're going to put in, let's do this. If you know what the suffix is, great. If not, you can just leave it and it's going to find it for you. Click search. Takes a few seconds, and then you're going to see all of the information over on the left-hand side. This is where you're going to get some of the options. You may see some different options than me. We probably not going to have access, obviously, to foreclosures or anything like that, but you will see the property profile, the comparables, the detailed history. You'll have access to, like I said, documents as well. So I'm just going to hit get now. And this is going to show you a brief summary of the comps that you'll receive. They're plotted out on a map. From here, if there's some comps that are too high or too low, you want to kick them out, all you have to do is just uncheck them here and click continue. I'm going to go ahead and continue on. And what we're going to see is just the quick comparables. The quick comparables are just a real simple one-line summary. Scroll down, you'll see that. Says the owner's information, the legal description. You'll find the APN right here as well. We come on down, you'll find what their financing is like, when they actually recorded, when they purchased it. So they purchased it, and you can see how these are hyperlinked. If you want a copy of the recorded document, all you have to do is click on that to open that up. And then we can come on down here and get a little bit more of an idea of what's been going on with the property. So this is what I was saying when I said that it's a little one-line comp summary, that we are not going through and looking at them. It's really easy to spot which ones are too high, which ones are too low, anything like that. This is where they all are on the map. And then it also gives you a quick analysis of those comps. So you have the median price, median bedrooms and bathrooms, how long they've been in the property, kind of the average range of the house, how old the house is. And then you're going to get into the transaction history report, and you'll see all of the financing that's been on here. The transaction history is going to follow back through that owner. So it's going to give you just about everything. This is not a chain of title. So, you know, it is, it's not like somebody has gone through and searched this. These are documents that are available. I would still make sure if you need something really in depth and you need a prelim, contact David, we'll get you a prelim, but this is still going to give you a really good idea of what's going on with the property.
I want to interrupt for 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is probably one of the big reasons I wanted you to do this today. So basically, as an agent, if you go into this site and you do your login, you put in a property address, APN, what have you, you get to this point, you're looking at all those records, you can see right there, it's just like when you're on Realist, you know, and you can see at the bottom the mortgage history, the sales history, but you can't access the deed. There in that hyperlink right there, those doc numbers, you can see what it is. So I know some of you rely heavily in the past on, which I know David doesn't mind, but you rely on, hey, could I get that? Or you'll call customer service, but you have it at the, on your fingertips right there just by accessing that. So sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted
No,
to say
please.
that.
Anytime you want to interject,
Yeah.
anything that you think is important, please. So yeah, that's all that I did was just click on that document number. You see that it opens up as a PDF. So now you have a full copy of that reconveyance, if that's what you're looking for. I'm gonna close that back down. We're just gonna kind of keep scrolling here.
Yeah.
This is a little more in depth about what each of those documents are. So you can kind of see, what the loan amount was or when it was taken out, who it was with. This is a pretty long one, so I'm going to keep scrolling down. This is an aerial view of the property. So sometimes if you're dealing, especially with commercial properties, and you're not quite sure where it's located on a map or even a vacant parcel that doesn't have, a physical address, this is going to be very helpful to you as well. The foreclosure is not typically something that you're going to see on there. Demographics, I apologize. Some of this is all stuff that's on my account, but you will see nearby neighbors. Nearby neighbors aren't necessarily comparables. They're literally the people that are closest to the property. So if you needed to kind of, not so much snoop on the neighbors, but if you were looking at similar properties that are around it,
Yeah.
you've got some
Yeah,
information
so,
there.
a lender in the room also made a point when you were pulling up one of those deeds. Yeah, like if you want to find out what the name of the association is from one of those documents was a condo writer, you could easily go in and get the name and then go to the HUD website, put in the name of the association and figure out if it's FHA approved or what have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we don't really see it too much anymore, but there were obviously loans that were recorded back in the day that had prepayment riders on them. We can see that. You can tell, pretty definitively whether it's a PUD versus a condo with those riders on it. You're going to see that as well. So if that ever comes up, you'll have that information as available to you as well.
Great.
And then some school information, and finally the plot map. And this one, I'm going to download this as a PDF just so I can blow it up and show you. This was a pretty interesting one. This particular area had a lot of development in Santa Clarita. So this one had a lot of development about 10, 15 years ago. And this has been subdivided a bunch of times. There's actually a whole street here that didn't used to exist.
Hello.
This used to be one big parcel, and now it's been subdivided into all of these other little parcels. So you can kind of see that. You can see where these lot lines are, where the parcel boundaries are. There's a flood channel right back here that goes behind the property. So you're going to see a lot of information even on the plot map. You'll get the dimensions of the properties and kind of get an idea of how many square feet it is. And there's, like I said, a lot of good information that can be had from the plot map itself. Okay, I'm going to come back here to, if you wanted to customize your comparables, this is back on that first page when we first searched. You got a couple of options. So the detailed view comparables is going to give you a lot more information on each comp. It'll give you the owner's name. It'll give you a little bit more information on that. If you wanted to customize your comparables, you're just going to click on this little arrow right here next to comparables report. And it's going to open up a little table for you. If you wanted to tighten up the distance, if you wanted to change it from 12 months to maybe just the last 6 months, if it's in an area that has had a lot of turnover very recently, then maybe you only want to go back 6 months instead. And maybe we only want to go about a mile out. So you can customize these. You can make sure it's either in the same city. You can even break it down just to the same tract. Most of the time, you'll probably want to expand out a little bit past the tract. But if it's single family, you want to make sure that it's the same as the subject property. If it's commercial, you might want to uncheck that. Commercial tends to be a little more general. So you're going to want to open that up a little bit. But this is how you can actually go in and customize those comparables. So you can either apply it, save and apply it, reset it. If you decide not to mess with that, you can do that as well. Okay. Write that down. There we go. Now it'll actually open those back up again. All right. So if I want to refine it, I can uncheck any of the ones that I don't want, click refine, and that'll also adjust those numbers on the little summary for this comps where it was giving you the median price, the median age, all of that. It's going to adjust that for you as well. Okay. So I got to move this little screen. There we go. All right. Does anybody have any questions so far? Or Michael, do you want me to kind of just keep going with this? 'Cause it's, it's a little bit weird and spread out.
Yeah, it's tough to get feedback when it's just you, right?
No, I mean,
I
it's
think we're-
okay. Yeah. All right.
No, we're good here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to move on to the list. Actually, let me just touch on the documents real quick. If you happen to know a document number, you don't have to go through the property profile to get it. If you just need a recorded instrument, you can come into the documents, click on the county, click on the year, the instrument number. Oops. And then we can get the document that way. So you're just kind of saving a couple extra steps. If you happen to know the instrument number, a lot of times you're not going to have that. You'll need the property profile to get it. But if you have it, great.
Touch on the soft opening, October 1st.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We just got word yesterday that the LA County Recorder's Office is going to be doing a soft opening. As of right now, we know that it's going to be October 1st. They are still going to require in-person appointments from the general public. So we're still not going to be able to do special recordings, things like that without any sort of appointment ahead of time. I understand. I talked to the title officer today. Those are still happening at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So you're not going to have those, later in the afternoon. But it is another, step towards hopefully getting back to normal from where we've been in the last year and a half, almost going on 2 years now. And that's just LA County. We don't have any information on Orange or San Bernardino or any of the other surrounding counties yet. But LA County tentatively soft reopening October 1st. Thank you, David.
Very nice.
All right. So for the list, you're going to see a couple of different options. Generally speaking, you're going to be working off the farm lists. Premium, I'm sure most of you are aware, there are certain types of data that title companies have not been able to provide for a very long time. That includes phone numbers and mortgage information, things like that. If you are interested in that, we can certainly have a side conversation. There is a premium feature where you can go in and purchase it for, I think it's 8 cents a record, depending on what type of information it is. That includes foreclosure lists, like I said, phone numbers, any type of mortgage data. But for basic farm information, we're able to download both PDFs and spreadsheets. So if you're using any sort of CRM, if you are working with a postcard printer and you want to get that information out and it's a weekend, you can't get a hold of us for whatever reason, you can still come in and do this. So this is a little self-serve site here. And we basically start with the geography and then we work left to right. You'll see all these little circular buttons up at the top. We can do it by map. So if you're working off the map, you can just draw a little polygon on the map. Close that out. And we can add that. If you want to start with a zip code, we can come into geography and you have a few different options here. Put in, let's see, 240, we want to search. We can go ahead and add that in. And now we're going to keep working our way to the right. I'm going to go to the property. And you can see here, there's a lot of different options for the types of properties that you can search. If it's absentee owned, it'll let you choose specifically in-state or people that are out-of-state owners. Out-of-state owners tend to have a higher turnover, so they're always a good one to market. You can always send them local information. Chances are they're not working with a realtor here. The only realtor that they know from here is the one that actually sold them their property. And you get a lot of out-of-state owners that, they think that having an investment property in California is very attractive. And sometimes it's a lot of work and they get into it and it's not always what it's cracked up to be. And they're not more often than not, but more often than people that live in their property, they're looking to get out of that. So those are definitely great people to contact. Some of these filters, you're not going to see anything that is grayed out. That means that it's not something that is tracked by the county. So if we're looking at properties in Los Angeles County doesn't show you whether there's an elevator or a fire sprinkler system or a fireplace or anything like that. But it will show you whether there's a homestead exemption. It'll show you the lot size, the building square footage, anything like that. So I'm gonna look. Let's go into our property type. When you search a specific type of geography, these options are going to vary depending on the area that you search. So if you search for, Palmdale or an area in Palmdale or an area in Downey, and it's a small residential area, it's not even going to show you these commercial types. It'll only show you what's available in that specific area that you're looking for. So I'm going to pull up all the single families and let's pull up condos. And I don't know if you can see this, but over here on the right-hand side, anytime you add criteria, it's automatically counting for you. So anytime you add anything, it's going to give you this count and you have an idea right away what you're looking at as far as numbers go. So I'm going to say that I want people that have owned maybe 5 years or so. Let's go. But I also don't want anybody that's purchased in the last 2 years. Oftentimes they're going to be stuck under capital gains tax. So maybe we don't want anybody that's just purchased in the last couple of years. So we're specifically looking at people that have owned from 2 to 5 years. So now we're down to 526. That's a pretty good number. If you're farming, and we can have a more in-depth discussion at another point about farming strategies, but good practice really is if you're looking at a new area, I would definitely suggest between 200 and 500 records. You want to make sure that you're in an area that's manageable. And by manageable, I just mean that you want to be able to hit that every single month consistently for a year. If you're not being consistent, if you only send out a postcard once or twice, chances are you're not going to do very much business in that area. You want to be consistent, and whether that's door knocking, whether that's sending out mailers, whether that's sending out flyers, whether it's purchasing phone numbers and contacting people, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you are doing it very consistently every single month. Ideally twice a month for at least 12 to 18 months before you can expect to see good results. Past that, if it's an area and you've done a really great job in it and you want to add more to it, then I would certainly expand past that. But 200 to 500 is a good number to hit, especially, like I said, if you're door knocking, you probably don't want to start with more than 500 at a time anyway. So this is a good number. We're going to go ahead and continue on. We click next. And this is where we're going to choose how we want to download that information. So I'm also going to give it a name because I want to come back to this later on. This is going to be my regular farm area. I can't type. I'm going to save this. Now I know when I go back into my list, I'm going to have save lists in there and I'll show you how to pull those up after. You can either pull up your PDF. I'm just going to do that. I want to sort it by situs address. That way it's real easy. I can see which streets are in my area. I'm going to click Get Now and download. So now what it's doing is it's putting it into a little batch for me. I've got a ton of farms in here. You probably won't have nearly this many. But I'm going to come back into my list. I'm going to go back to that in just a few minutes. So this is where we can pull up our saved list. So I just saved that one. It was just a little test. This is where I'm going to see all of my saved lists. I've got all kinds of information in here. Okay. Past list orders. Past list orders is anything that I've downloaded. It's not necessarily my saved list. Past list orders is anything that I've downloaded in the last 2 weeks. Your saved lists, they stay there forever. Your past list orders are only something that you've downloaded in the last 2 weeks. So if you want to go back in, let's say we downloaded the PDF at first, we want to go back in and download the Excel file now. This is where you would go to do that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have a saved list,
Mhm.
and so it's the area, maybe you're gonna always come back and get, you know, information, labels, what have you, farm
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Does it refresh itself? Like if new owners?
Yeah,
you
after
know-
2 weeks, yes. So anytime, like I said, with the past list orders, it does not refresh itself because that's fresh data that you've just pulled. So it's just pulling that same data again. If you go in through the saved list, let's say next month you want to come in, it's going to refresh that data for you. So any, transactions that have been there, yeah, those will show up.
Nice.
Any sales that have happened.
Mhm.
So I'm going to come back into my history now. This is where I'm actually going to download it, and give me just a moment. Hopefully that's done. It may still show as pending. So it still says that it's processing right here. And you can see, this is actually where you're going to see everything. So that property profile that I pulled, that document that I pulled up, this is all here in your history. And it just takes a couple of minutes for it to refresh. It just told me that it's ready. There we go. Right. And this is your data. This is what it looks like when you pull it up. Okay. So you're going to see you've got the owner's name, their address, their mailing address, if it's an absentee, what type of property it is, the zoning, legal description, all of the basic information that you would normally get with a farm. Okay, transfer value, your built, square footage, all that good stuff. Okay, so we don't want you to necessarily worry about becoming farming experts or anything like that. This is really a tool that you have available. If it's the weekend, you're in a bind, you've got a batch of postcards that you want to send out, and you just want to be able to pull some addresses. It's a great resource to have. We definitely do not mind you ever reaching out to us to pull farms. Reach out to David. You can reach out to me directly as well, and we will get you taken care of with anything that you need. This is just another resource for you to have. What was that? What's David saying?
He was,
I
go
was
ahead.
giving you some props. I would say Pepper's trained on farms before to title companies. So if anyone ever wanted a one-on-one quick session just to dive in on specific criteria that you guys can get benefit from in your own farms, she'd be more than happy to do that, and I can do that as well. So
Absolutely.
Pepper's the best. In a nutshell, Pepper's the best.
Now I've got a little over 20 years of title and farming experience, so that's definitely my wheelhouse.
That's right.
Nice. Good deal.
So last thing I'm just going to touch on for a few minutes. Oh, I don't know why this isn't.
If you have internet.
Well, I have internet, but I think it's trying to tell me.
There you go. There he goes. Oh,
Nope. Hold on.
So on the
There we
back
go. You got to trick it. Everything wants you to have an SSL security.
so what is this?
So this is our companion app that goes with TitlePro247.com. So like I said, once you have access to TitlePro247.com, you have your username set up, you have your password set up, you've accepted the RESPA agreement. This is where you can go to if you want some information on the go. This is where you are going to go. So you can go to monarchtitlepro.com. I can send you the links at the end. I'll send them to Michael as well, so he can get them out to the team. And this is where you'll go to download it. You can download it for your, for your Apple, for your Android. There is a web version. The web version isn't quite as easy to use as the mobile version. It is definitely designed for mobile use, but it's definitely still good. Yeah, just one moment. What's nice about this is it's really, really easy and intuitive. So again, if you're just on your phone and you need to get some quick property data, pull up that same address. It's gonna tell me where it is. Sorry, David, I'm logged in under Eric. Don't mind me.
So is this, what is it called on the iPhone to look it up? Smart Direct? Is it?
So yeah, it's called Smart Direct RE. It is the app was built by Redshed, and it's a whole complicated thing. But Redshed builds this. They have built mobile apps for several companies, and because of Apple Store restrictions and the Google Play Store restrictions, they can't submit it as Monarch Title Pro. So when you download it, it's going to say Smart Direct. Once you log in, though, it'll change the icon on your phone to say Monarch Title Pro, and you'll see our logo and everything. But it's also got an easy farming tool. So if you are door knocking, we're looking hopefully pretty soon, some cooler weather. I know we were supposed to start fall today, and summer's like, yeah, no, I'm not quite done yet. So it's back to being 95 again. But hopefully in the next couple of months, it'll cool down a little bit. Maybe get out, get some nice fresh air. If you're door knocking, and even if you're not talking to people, even if you're just leaving them some information, the door knocking app or the door knocking feature within the app is pretty cool. It lets you trace over the rooftops in the order that you're going to walk, and then it'll pull up that information in that order. So then all you got to do is swipe through. Again, you'll have all the normal farming information, the owner's name, their mailing address if they're an absentee owner, bedrooms, bathrooms, year built, square footage, all that stuff. You can take notes. You can also get the turnover ratios right from there. You can do a net sheet from there. So if you wanted to see what a potential buyer would be paying or what a potential seller might be netting at the end, you can do that as well. And it's just a nice, simple, clean, easy to use app. Definitely recommend going in and downloading it. Again, it'll be the same username and password that you have set up. There is a code that you'll need to use, David's code. I'll send all of that to Michael at the end so you can get that out to the team. But yeah, it's a great app. We launched that just a few months ago, and we're real happy to have that, to offer that.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's all the major stuff that I wanted to cover. Again, you can see up here, yeah, walking farm calculator. It's a little bit more. There are some built-in tutorials. Yeah, I'm always happy to take your calls if you have any questions, anything like that.
Okay. All right, that sounds
Michael?
good. And yeah, I'll wait for the email. I'm impatient, and I tried to go on the phone to find it, but I can't find it. So
That's okay. I'll send you the link.
oh, you found it? Oh no, okay, yeah. So yeah, when we through the email, if we click on it,
It's probably best if you go to Monarch Title Pro, and then from there you can click the link, right?
Yeah, I'll send you, because it'll take you, there's a couple of different apps called Smart Direct within the App Store. We want to make sure that we get you to the right one.
Okay.
Go to Monarch, right? MonarchTitlePro.com.
Oh.
The actual website.
Got it.
From there, it'll say
Got it.
download for Apple, download for
Got
Android.
it. Got it. Okay.
Or just log into the web version.
Right. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I stopped
look,
sharing, so it's all yours.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
we made it in time, so you can make it to pick up the kids soon.
I know. We're back, life is getting back to normal.
That's good. That's
Little
good.
by little, we're getting there.
Little by little. Well, thank you again. We'll look out for that email.
Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so. Okay, let's share one more thing. Okay, hotline. Can people on Zoom see my hotline? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Just listed Carrie condo in Covina. How many offers? 13 offers, she said.
Above list and sold in 6 days.
All right, so sold in 6 days. This is history. We're gonna keep going then. Arnett, 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $649. It's available still. It made it through the weekend with no offers. I know, shocker. So there you go. It's a competitive price. So we'll see what happens. Actually, I now have 2 people that have today that showed it that are going to write an offer, but we'll see. Yes, for now. It is a 1 car. It is a 1 car. That's a good question from wide angle, camera angle. Yes, it is a 1 car. All right. I don't know if Pam is on. Can't remember. Okay, I don't see Pam. So Pam listed 2 properties. So is M1, we were trying to figure out, is that manufacturer? Is that a
Light industrial.
light industrial? Okay,
So everyone needs to check with the city before they figure out.
for whatever their use is, right? So you got this one on Phlox. It's a 7,800 square foot building on a big lot for almost 2.3. And then this one is more of it's like kind of a similar, but a little different with multiple units. And this one is 6,600 square feet on an 18,000 lot for 2,455,500. That's a good one. So we'll see what happens there. Any listings that didn't make it to the board? Okay. All right, sales. Okay, Louis on Senwood in Norwalk. Congratulations. And then on Rashawn, I double-ended it. And then Sergio had a sale on Roble Place in Montebello. All right, good deal. Congrats. Oh, closing or closing. Okay, so here comes closings. Sergio on Springvale, Jimmy on Neighbors, Team Michael and Coleman, Team Michael on Rundell, Stephen on Brentwood and Orange, and Mazin on Amherst. Congratulations to the closings. All right. And okay, so if you're like me and you don't hear if you don't notice all of your emails, sorry. This came through in the Today Matters email that everyone got yesterday. So in that email is this. And so if you want to sign up to take the license class in October, November, or December, I'm sorry, I saw the word line. So the RPA is changing in December. It's changing, would you use the word drastically or drastically? Oh, yeah. Okay, so they are giving free training through CAR. You can get it and pay money, but
They also give you 4 hours credit.
oh,
towards your life.
will this count? No, okay. So this is free. John Giranelli, the DAR attorney office, he's someone at that office is giving the class. It is free with one caveat. If you sign up and you don't show up, you can't ask to take it again because you missed the first one. Yeah, so, but it is free. Please.
After spending 4 hours in that class, Carmen and I are not going to be available to go over this contract with you. You guys need to go to the class. You have to go more than once because I'm going to go again. It's very much changed. There's a lot of defaults that are going to impact listing agents as well as buyer's agents. And if you don't know what those defaults are, then your deals will blow up at the last minute.
It's an in-person class or?
This is on Zoom. This is on Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah, and was your 4-hour one Zoom?
It was Zoom with 600 people.
Woo! Wow. So.
Yeah, so it's different, okay? And you won't be able to just like slide through it. It's not going to be that simple.
Yeah, so just make sure everyone caught that on Zoom. Basically, it's big changes and it's intensive. So try to sign up for one of those classes. Because
Yeah.
so
It's a Zoom.
it's on Zoom, huh? Right, right. So do so. So you know how they change forms and any in zip forms in December. So I mean, this December, I mean, this is the big change. So
And it's 16 pages. Just FYI.
oh my God.
Wow.
Even if he comes, he won't come until April, so you're gonna have 4
And-
months of not knowing.
And
a lot of RPA.
the detail that's in it. I mean, he tries to cover everything. So
Can I say something to that one?
please.
So there's one huge change for warranty.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Normally, sorry, I'll try to shut the.
It's okay. I'll just. come over here.
Normally it's seller to select coverage, right? Now it's the buyer's full responsibility. So if you don't know what they need, you need to know, do they have a pool? Do they have a water slide and it needs a fountain? Like, there's so much more that you'll need to know on a buyer's side because of the new changes on the RPA. It's all buyer's information.
Okay.
Yes, it's your responsibility.
All right.
For sure.
Okay. All right. So what else we got? I am. Yeah, I'm do. I was gonna crack a joke, bad joke. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No bueno.
Right. Exactly. Muy bien. Muy bien. So I will be hosting Hispanic Heritage Month panel
Not Hispanic,
this
but
Thursday.
Hispanic.
This Thursday.
Call yourself Miguel, right?
Yeah, thank you.
It's not Miguel, it's Miguelito.
Miguelito. Thank you. And if I crack that joke on Zoom, you know where I got it. So thank you. Okay. So what else? Birthdays. So Joe's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to Joe. And Jennifer was it the 15th or was it? I don't know. Okay, it must be the 15th. Last week. And also Maria. And then coming up on Friday is Paul. So happy birthday. All right.
Thank you.
What else do I got? We're very unorganized today.
We're doing it backwards.
We're doing it backwards. Let me just see if there's one other thing. It's a team effort. What can I say? So yeah, one other thing that I noticed passed, I emailed a few of you. SB 9 passed. And SB 9, and I haven't read it, so I'm not gonna sit here and be an expert on it. But basically, you know what happened last year, where starting January 2020, you were allowed to add an ADU, and there were less restrictions. And we had Aldo here that spoke to us about the big changes before, and then he came, in the summer. So I actually have a property I'm working on where there are 6 houses on a 50,000 square foot lot. And I actually went to the planning department last week and asked, can I just tear this down? And I got a big fat no, and I wasn't happy with a no. So I emailed Aldo, and he, and with all my reasons as to why, I said, I'm not buying it. I don't care. I would be the agent. I just want to be able to say what a prospective buyer can do. Okay. So he picks up the phone and calls me and says, yes, indeed, the person at the counter that day was correct. It's an R1, even though there's 6 houses, it's in a residential neighborhood. You can't do that. Okay.
So what does that mean? You have to totally rezone
So-
in order
Right. And I was even saying that. He says, no, it won't fit the parameters. Okay. He literally called me yesterday out of the blue and said, hi, Michael. I don't know if you know what passed last week, but everything I said to you last week, I'm going to take back. I was like, oh, shoot. So basically what the SB 9 is that says that you can put, I don't know, up to 4, or basically you can add extra units if your lot permits it. You can add extra units. So that's going to change everything regardless of zoning. So
What is the requirement per unit? Right.
So it has to fit the specifications of setbacks that, you know, the city would normally have. But, so if you have a big lot though, whew, I mean,
I
you know,
can put 3 other houses on my lot.
correct, correct. So yeah, I mean, if you have a big lot, you can really go to town. So anyway, so that's just something I wanted to mention.
So like 3 ADUs.
And they,
Like,
they're,
you say houses, you can't be-
they're not calling it, I mean, so far, I mean, I haven't read the language, but they're calling it like a unit.
So you could go 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom.
Right, but I mean, like, you know, like a house.
So like a large lot in Northeast County, literally they could put 2 or 3 houses on it, depending on the size of the lot.
So, yeah, so the quick article, there was a bunch that I was trying to look up when I was emailing a few people. And that was the one that seemed to be the best. And the headline was, this could be the end of single family residence neighborhoods. It's like, wow.
Question on that. Because right now, you have a single family home, that rent control stuff doesn't apply. But if you have 200 lots, then you have.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, then all bets are off.
So.
for the
so
for the
when you
exclusion.
add, You're automatically adopting the rent control.
You are,
Wow.
100%.
That is something
Yeah.
you tell people.
I think I saw something too, that if you do want to do the 4 units, you have to live in the property. for
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
years.
And you
have to
mentioned
have it
that.
owner-occupied.
Yeah, right,
Family
So-
compounds, here we come.
right.
So
So
it's
two,
not just like a rich person going into the Northeast and buying a single family house.
because they have to live in one of them, right?
It's on paper. Yeah, exactly.
And today, by the way, remember before ADUs, you had to live on the
Right.
property and then they lifted that.
That one was until 2025, they lifted that
Okay,
until 2025, so everybody was.
Hurry
trying
up.
to and get one without being owner occupancy in the front or back.
Right.
So I don't know how that affects that,
yeah,
which one supersedes what,
right.
but that one was a state.
But
So
calling
you
it.
the City back and say, I like it now.
Well, you know what?
He was
so
nice
a
about it.
timeline with marketing was we can run a farm of all the big lots in the city county.
Right,
Or in
Or-
Whittier.
or wherever, yeah.
Huge lots in
Bell,
Whittier.
Bellflower also huge lots,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we can run a criteria like that, you know.
So that we could just make all of our residential neighborhoods look like shit.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's what's gonna happen. There's not gonna be parking. There already is.
Exactly, parking is gonna be a
Yeah,
big-
parking
And
is,
it's gonna bring values down. I think people really need to think about what's
I
going on.
wasn't supporting it or.
right, I know.
I'm just saying, this is going to
Say in
happen.
spite of.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
decision someone-
I'm just saying, this is going to happen. I don't think there's anything stopping the
It
state
won't stop it.
from going.
There's no make a buck.
Maybe
Right.
find
Uh,
opportunity.
Real quick, oh, I see something in the chat. By the way, while I look, Julio said, yeah, you're correct. So Gabe was just saying that if you have an SFR and you add a second unit, then you're probably not excluded. You know, if you're a single family, that's exempt from the rent control. So if you add other units, now you may not be exempt, and that's probably the case. Fernando was mentioning that you have to live on the property to add extra units. So anyways, for 3 years? Woo. Okay, all right. Yes. Uh-huh. I mean, it's still saved, still here. Yeah, not yet. That's scary. Yeah. All right. And what else? I think that is it. I just wanted to say again, thank you. Thank you to David from Monarch Title. And I'm sure we'll put a few in the Zoom people's boxes, but I can't guarantee it'll be there by the time you pick it up. I may
Thank
steal it.
you.
Kidding, just kidding. But yeah, it'll be in your box. And when I receive the email, Pepper will send it to Carmen and we'll send it out to everyone so you can get the app. And then I want to say thank you to Rebecca from First American. And to our lunch sponsor, for those here that filled their bellies, that had in person, Alex Asensio from American Financial. All right. Yes. All right, everyone. Well, have a good week. See you next week.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Quick
Thank you,
raffle.
Michael.
Thank you.
Here's the sunscreen. Okay. Not sunblock. Sunscreen.
Okay,
Very far. Just a reminder, you guys, we do have marketing materials, if you kind of want to know what that looks like.
okay, how-
Okay, this is a big question. We can answer it first. Home warranty question, ready to go?
Okay.
Watch the chat to see if someone reads it.
Madam,
Ready?
unmute you if you want to answer.
What is the one thing besides home warranty that links Liz and myself? What is our hobby that links Liz and myself?
Oh, I know.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycles, right in my alley. There it is.
All right.
Have a great day, you guys.
The answer was motorcycles. They both like off-road motorcycling. All right. Bye, guys. Bye. Good to see you, Vicky.
Hour of a different time.